As I give a little background to Miles Sanders, we're going to watch just a little bit of his highlights from Just Bombs Productions. They do a lot of great things on YouTube where you can watch a lot. Miles Sanders, as this highlight clip is dubbed the shiftiest back. I really believe he could be one of the shiftiest backs. I love his jump cut. I love his explosion. I like the way that he goes patiently up to the line and then really bursts through that line in order to get maximum yardage. Another thing that I like is it seems like he's always making the first guy miss. And when a play is broken down because the Penn State line wasn't phenomenal, he still gets forward typically for some positive yardage, drops his shoulders, gets up, gets at least back to the line of scrimmage, if not another yard or two. And obviously, these are just highlights going right now. So it looks like every play he's taken is just these massive runs. But he did have a few games, especially in 2018, where he kind of faltered a little bit against Ohio State. He didn't have a great game. A fumble late in that game really put the exclamation point on it, as well as a tough game against Michigan. Really was, two of the dark spots in his season. But as you can see from watching the highlights here, there's a lot to really like. So we're going to watch this one in half speed. Just to really get a feel for what he's able to do here and why I really like him. So we're going to watch this one in half speed just to really get a feel for what he can do and why I really like him as one of my top backs coming into the league. So as you can see, gets the handoff. That right there, that burst, that sticking his foot into the ground right here and seeing this hole open up is absolutely phenomenal. And watch what he does with it. Bursts straight through, slips through, little arm tackles, and then right here sets up another defender, sets him up about 5 yards away and is able to just really get through the hole. So on this one here, we watch what I really love about Miles Sanders, and it's right there. You can see you can see that the play pushes these guys out to the side, freezes them with this tight end coming across, gets a good seal block there. He has one-on-one with this guy here, and his lineman he knows is coming across, little stutter step in the hole, bursts right through it, gets to the second level, makes this guy miss, picks up another almost 10 yards by making that guy miss. Just an absolute great run right there. On this play here, you're going to see Miles Sanders as a receiver. It's something that he didn't really do a lot of, but this play really gives you a good look at what he can do when asked to receive. And I think if he gets in the right situation in the NFL, you can definitely ask this man to catch some balls out of the backfield. So again, this one's going to go in half speed to really kind of see what's happening on the field. So right there, it's just a very quick, they didn't get to see the front of it, and don't mind the coach up here on the side. But Miles Sanders just sprints out of the backfield. Trace McSorley has at least a little bit of time. Throws it on a rope. He catches it. You can't quite see how he catches it there, but he makes a very you can't really see how he catches it. You can't really see how he catches it right there. But he secures the ball. He knows he has this defender closing in. He knows he has this defender coming at him as well. and he just is able to catch it, take off up the sideline, and neither of those guys are going to be able to get him. This guy right here should have taken a better angle because he does have an opportunity. If you watch right here, this guy right here does have an opportunity to get him in an angle. And Miles Sanders is just able to outrun all of these guys and go all the way to the house. That's a big time play. That's more than a 50-yard catch and run right there. Not even touched once he gets the ball in his hands. So anybody that can do that coming out of the backfield is going to be somebody that NFL teams are going to want. So as I mentioned, one of the red flags for Miles Sanders is his fumbling. I do think it's an issue, but I think part of the issue is the fact that they ran a lot of read options and a lot of those handoffs were not the best. But here we're going to see one of these exact type of handoffs where both Sanders and McSorley are fighting over the ball, and that just ends up with the ball ending up on the floor. But you see right there, looks like Trace McSorley thinks that it's going into Sanders' hands. Sanders thinks that it's he's going to leave it behind, and yeah, just ends up in Michigan's hands. So definitely not what you want to see there from either of those two guys. And here's one more. And here's another one. This is against Ohio State. This was, again, one of these shotgun handoffs. You see here, right there, he just completely loses the ball right after the handoff. The defender gets his hand right across the ball. Ball just squirts out right in front of him. There's nothing that he can do about it. And here it is at a better angle. You can see right there, he has the ball. This should not pop out the way it does. You can see the ball is already not in good position here. It really should be over here a little bit more in between those elbows. I'm going to slow it down just a little bit so you can see the ball completely pop out here. Right there. Gets the shoulder pad right on there, gets his hand right in where the ball should be, and the ball's already squirting out. So great play by the Ohio State. I think that was the linebacker in there, but really should have been a better play by Miles Sanders. Even though he was dead to rights as soon as he got the ball, you really don't want to see him fumbling it like that. And as we all know, at the NFL level, one of the quickest ways for a rookie running back to get sat down is if he's putting the ball on the turf. So as long as Miles Sanders can keep the ball in his hands, I'm really, really liking Miles Sanders. This here is one of my favorite plays from Miles Sanders. I'm going to slow the speed down just a little bit so that we can really appreciate it. Takes the handoff again, everything out of the shotgun. Look at that jump cut, though. He sees that this defender has his outside shoulder of the offensive lineman, is able to make this really smooth jump cut inside. Finds that hole nice and easy, sees that he has 1, 2, 3 guys here. Gets up into the hole, sees that he has 1, 2, 3 guys here, sees this guy is already overcommitting inside. Look at this cut that he's already in the process of making right now. Really sticks his foot into the ground, gets his hips open, and just explodes out of that and is able to get the whole side of the field here, take it up the sidelines, and take it up for a really big gain. So, as I said, Miles Sanders is one of my absolute favorite running backs in this draft class. As I said earlier, Miles Sanders is one of my favorite running backs in this draft class. I could see him going in as early as the second or third round in the actual NFL draft, and in your dynasty and rookie drafts going all the way up at the late first. I don't see him stepping over some of those super top name guys that you have at the top of dynasty. I don't see him jumping over some of those top running backs in dynasty circles just yet, but if the landing spot is right, he could definitely be one of the top 5, if not top 3 running backs in 2019 ADP. So thanks for listening. This is the At Home Dad on Twitter Thanks for listening. This is the At Home Dad on Twitter at FF the At Home Dad. And you can find all of my work at gridironexperts.com. Be sure to check it out. We got lots of things going up there. Deuces, bitches.